Hi guys, welcome back to another quick tarot card pull. This is being filmed on Thursday, June 25th, 2026. Today we're pulling from the Stitchery Witchery Tarot cards. This is by Queenie Black. She is on TikTok and all social media platforms. You can buy this from her Etsy shop, Queenie Black, Pocket Full of Posies. I'll tag her in all the platforms that I'm posting onto, so that way you could click on her and get to her link if you want to buy it. Very, very reasonable tarot deck. Beautiful, high quality. This is the side of the tarot cards. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're excellent, excellent, excellent quality. And I buy a lot of tarot cards. She's an excellent artist out of California. She's got some dolls, Pocket Full of Posy dolls. It's just, she does everything. Coloring book pages, beautiful oil print, actual oil painting, excuse me. She does miniatures. She has prints if you're someone that wants to collect a bunch of small paintings. She does everything. Like, she has so many beautiful pieces that, if you're a collector of art, definitely worth checking out her SD shop. So, Page of Seers. So this is the Page of Swords. So no matter what, like, whatever happens in the darkness comes to light is what they're saying. So no matter how much someone tried to pull the wool over your eyes or get away with what they did, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to worry about that. With myself, when someone does me wrong, I'll leave it up to God, because I don't want to compromise myself, and I don't want to bring myself to their level by saying, "Oh, I wish this, that." No. As much as I have a bad temper, it's just, let go and let God. You know what I mean? That was then, this is now. But at the same time, I'm not going to forget what happened then. You know what I mean? Like, fool me once, like Anastasia said, lessons have been learned. So we have the King of Shears, which is the King of Swords. For myself, personally, when I get readings for people that are getting personal readings, this is where lawyers or police officers, domestic violence, like, I will see someone sometimes and I'll be like, I don't know why they're bringing up this person, but they are. And with one person that I read for often, it was a family situation. So, you know what I mean? I just feel like it's watch your temperature, watch your temperament. We are hitting into retrograde on the 29th, but there's pre-retrograde energy. Well, it makes sense why the last 2 weeks have been nonsense, but try to get your meditation in. I'm still doing my meditation with Cody. Like, I'm still doing it because I'm just like, you know, what was it? Oh, something that's came up, two new systems at my job, and it's, you know what I mean? It's just like, I always pray to God. I'm like, please, I'm not worried about anyone else. I'm just like, please give me the knowledge, the wisdom, the strength to conquer this. You know what I mean? Like, taking my time, practicing, doing what I need to do, you know what I mean? Because the more you do it, the better you get, right? Anywhere where you put your energy. So I feel like it's something you could utilize, if you're like someone like myself that always faces challenges in your job, and you know what I mean? It's kind of good in a way because it, expands your mind and wisdom, and it also teaches you, like, you could conquer anything if you want to. You know what I mean? It's just, well, some situations it's just, out of our hands. But I mean, like, in this situation, instead of having a temper tantrum, it's doing everything I can to prepare myself, to make myself more knowledgeable, make myself better. So that's where it's just like, you know, it's like we could do things one or two ways. We can always exacerbate the situation, make it 10 times worse, and give ourselves a panic attack, or we can make the most of it. You know what I mean? It's just, I just feel like with the King of Shears, especially highlighting the crown here, I feel like it's using your mind. Like, be smart about it. You know what I mean? We're heading into Canada Day on July 1st. July 4th is, America Independence Day. I feel like drinking is part of that. You kind of see like these little bubbles. Like, if you think about the old animations, like Dumbo seeing pink elephants kind of thing. I just feel like this is male energy, 444. I feel like this is like, just drinks a little too much. That's not an excuse. It's like you are in charge of how you behave. You don't need to get blackout drunk. You can participate in a breuvage without getting blackout drunk or fall over drunk. So we have the Emperor. I love the fact that I feel like offering, but I feel like supplying, like the quote unquote, like they say, like, the man brings home the bacon kind of thing. I get that kind of like, I'm giving you what you need. And I feel like this could also be in the universe. Also highlighting foundation, like the fact that 444 is still on the timer at this time. Like, you know what I mean? It's on the time. So it's, 4 pillars, the house. I feel like young energy. I don't feel like he's older. I know he's got the little spectacles there, like, very regal. Obviously, he's got his crown on his head. I feel like this device is to, like, like, especially with this dial here, is like to turn, which they're highlighting, and I feel like pressure in the head. So this could be headaches or highlighting like pain in the head. I know my eldest has wisdom tooth pain. His wisdom tooth is pushing through more. So, you know what I mean? Where they're saying like pressure. So, I feel like it's like, take it easy. You know what I mean? Don't bust anyone's chops. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's the worst. When you're not feeling 100% and someone's like freaking ragging you, it's just like, why? Like, you know what I mean? It's so unnecessary. I love this 3 of Cups. But, we're talking about celebrations. So, like we're saying, Canada Day, Independence Day, birthdays are coming up. More birthdays are coming up. We just celebrated my nephew's birthday and we had a heck of a time. But don't forget that collaboration. I feel I got those a lot, like, especially with Instagram. Hey, do you want to wear jewelry during your videos? And you know what I mean? And we'll give you so many pieces and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, that's fine. You know what I mean? I was totally down for it, but it's like, you know what I mean? Most of them are scams. So it's just like, I kind of, when I get those kind of things, I kind of like, yeah, 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 I just delete them. I don't even entertain them anymore. But it's not saying that I'm, oh, look at me, I'm so, you know what I mean? It's more of, just being smart about things. But I feel like this is a legitimate collaboration where it's like you put their product out to your audience. You know what I mean? But for me, it's like I would like to try it myself. I'm not just going to, put something out there just because you're going to give me, samples or something like that. You know what I mean? I want to make sure, like with myself, I have sensitive skin, so I can't wear jewelry all the time, and I'm always like, washing my hands, or, this time of year in the garden. So it's just like, I can't be wearing jewelry, or it's like if you're washing your hands all the time. I know a lot of people, like lovely Mimi, she washes her hands, with her rings on. I get little blisters between the rings and my, like because of that friction between the two. And it's like, it's damp. So my hands have to be dried to have jewelry on. I can't be sweating or have water. So winter, was more of my season to wear, rings and stuff, because you're not gardening or doing anything like that. So you know what I mean? Or it's turning green. I know it's my skin, like it's not nothing to say about, because I have rings upstairs. They're no means, you know, whatever gold, like even platinum. Platinum gives me rashes. So it's just your skin and stuff like that. But again, it's like, do you really want to peddle something to your audience that trusts you just because for a payday? You know what I mean? Big or small. I love this because it's the 3 of Swords, but I feel like with a thimble, because if you wear a thimble, it helps you push through the material, and that's where I'm getting is resistance. Like, I'm trying to push the needle through the fabric, and I'm using the thimble to push it, and instead of hurting my finger, I'm using the thimble. You know what I mean? And it could be like this. I don't feel like it's forcing you to heal, but I feel like it's like, okay, we need to face this kind of thing so we can. You know what I mean? I feel like I think it was Amber Lantero. I'm pretty sure it was her that said that there was still healing taking place for a lot of us, which is fine. At least we know that. And for myself, and I know I was talking to Queenie about this, like, we're not looking for certain situationships in our lives because it's just like been there, done that. We're having too much fun. You know what I mean? It's just, just keep pushing forward. But allow yourself to feel the emotions, because I feel like when you feel them, it's just like, I'd rather have gone the way through that I did than I know people made it worse, but I had to learn that as well. But it's like, I didn't want to be someone that was, and no offense to anyone that's going through recovery, this is just my story. I'm just grateful that I didn't get into all those situations where you know I would have to take medication or anything like that, or be in recovery for it because I abuse that then rather than deal and heal with the situation. Showing the Queen of Pentacles, it looks like getting a reward. Funny enough, I know she's opening a treasure box, but from here up, it looks like you're getting a certificate of appreciation or something. I actually saw a vision of this. Because it is nice to feel appreciated. Like, we all know that. Sometimes, like, that's why I try to give everybody their flowers. Not that I want them to thank me or anything like that, or shout me out. I do it because it's nice to be acknowledged for what you do. It's not, like, even when you repost someone's post, to put their name in there because they took the time to make the post. You know what I mean? They may not always be the originator. You could see their name sometimes, like in that kind of transparent text or something. But you know what I mean? It's nice to be like, even like, I know when some people's stories, people I follow, like Dorothy Wang is one of them. She has a lot of great inspirational quotes. I always show her and I show the person that she got it from, because it's like, I'm shouting out both of them. Like, thank you for putting that out into the world. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm talking about, why I share it, because it spoke to my heart. It spoke to my soul. So I'm sharing it with you guys, so you guys could be like, yeah, that freaking resonates. Like, yeah, I've been going through that. Thank God I'm not the only one, Like, that's how I felt when I first joined the grief group. Like, the anxiety, like, my husband passed away suddenly of a heart attack. He was a healthy man. Yes, he did smoke and he did things he shouldn't have, but you know what I mean? He was young. There was, signs, but we saw them as something else, like, playing video games or playing guitar, or we write too much with pens or pencils, our hands get cramped. So, you know what I mean? It's just like, but I feel like there is being recognized for something. I love the fact, like, opening treasures. I feel like it's something you put away for a rainy day, coin collection or something. I don't know if someone had a coin collection they put away and now we need it, and it's like, thank God it's there. Like, it's like a hidden blessing you did. I feel like in that way too. It could be a hidden blessing in that way too. Or it's like, you didn't even know it was there. We have the Eight of Cups and the 12 is on the timer. So this is where it's moving forward. I love the fact that it feels like jewels. I know there are like ribbons and stuff like that. But I feel like it's just like, when you, especially with that Three of Swords, like pushing through something, you know what I mean? And it's like, I feel like it's having the courage to move forward. You know what I mean? It's just like, sometimes we do get stuck in energies, and it's just like, sometimes you got to just let yourself feel that energy and feel what it is and move forward. I'm very thankful. Like, I even was like, I write down dates when they channel dates that they give to me. And I'm just like, do you, like, thanking the universe for giving me a break. Like, I mentioned this earlier in the week because there was supposed to be something, like, I know they said, like, they have to do certain things and, certain things have to fall in place, which I understand. But for me, I, like, from what I saw, I was like, it was this week, and I'm just like, I was so thankful for the rest because I definitely needed it. I needed to rest and rejuvenate. Like, I even pushed myself over the weekend, but you know what? I'm so grateful. You know what I mean? I was done afterwards, but I was very thankful that we got that opportunity because it was just, you know what I mean? We had so much fun. And the fact that we're still talking about it, like, you know what I mean? We always have a great time with my sister at her house. Like, it's like going to a theme park. It's so much fun. And she's such a beautiful property and garden. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just, those are the, like, I was giving the flowers to Ryan, where he was talking about, he's like, if you don't bring these kind of vibes, like, don't bother, you know what I mean? Because who wants to be around that? Yes, we all want to vent and bitch and blah, 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 but we also want to laugh and have a good time. And you know what I mean? It's just like, if you're, it's like, sometimes it's just good to talk, like, oh my gosh, what a piece of, you get it off your chest, you know what I mean? It's like, fuck, it's nice to kiki with people sometimes. But this is the positive confirmation of you need to move forward. You know what I mean? I know sometimes we feel like we're pushing through it. Like that, like, trust me, it was a lot, But I feel like this is spirit just saying, like, we're proud of you for moving forward. We're proud. Like, I even said to myself, like, Jen, like, we've been through, not calling anything worse, no harm to none, including myself, worse nonsense than this. So we need to keep pushing forward. We need to keep, going forward with all these things. Love the Empress energy. This is Queenie. I love the Empress energy. I feel like this is like things in your life. So like little tchotchkes or trinkets that could bring you joy. But the Empress is all about, nurturing. And sometimes we need to nurture ourselves. Sometimes, like, I haven't died. Every time I want to do it, I'm like, it's so hot, I don't want to do it. Or I'm like, oh, I'm tired. Like, because I do my own hair, so I do foils and I pull them down, not pull them down, but I go further away from my scalp, or I give myself like, like at least half an inch for my roots out. So that way it's not, right to the scalp where it really, you know what I mean, is crazy. But, everybody does their hair different. But I also put like on my scalp before I start. A lot of people do this. They'll put like a nice nurturing oil or like a scalp treatment or something, because the way that I do mine, it, by the time I put the foils on, it rests and da 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 and wash and everything. It's like 4 hours. Anyone that gets their hair done or does their hair knows what I'm talking about. But when you put that deep nurturing on there as well, like a nice protectant, but it's nice to nurture your scalp, And I feel like that's a thing of self-love. You got to take time for you too. You know what I mean? As much as we all want to do the things, and you got to remember this time in the wintertime when you're sleeping like a bear, this is why. You went through it. I feel like you're on the other side is what they're saying. When we were talking about like I Wisdom with Sharon, we had to go through this purge, you know what I mean, to bring things to light and to move forward. So I also kind of like with Four Seasons where, is it Jack? Is his name Jack? No, Jack's the thing. Tina Fey's husband. What's his name? I always mix them up. But the guy, the Gru actor, his wife, where she was telling his mistress, like, don't let those thoughts in, those shadow thoughts in, because it's hard to get rid of them once you let them in. And it's like catching yourself when energies are coming in. It's like, remember what happened last time when you let this in? And I was like, oh, it'll be okay. No. Let's not do that. Nope. This is my space. This is calling in your boundaries. Remember we got the moon and it was like calling back in boundaries, calling back in your tribe because everybody's been busy. So reconnecting with people. I feel like this is that as well. It's like watching your boundaries of what you let into your energy force, what you let into your life, because, you don't want those things. Like she said, once you get them in, it's hard to get them out. We have the Lovers. I love the fact of weddings. So people getting ready for a wedding. I see my sister getting married. I've had a vision of that and a dream of that as well. But they were calling, I believe this was Amber Lantero again. She was talking about like soulmate coming in, and this doesn't necessarily have to be a lover. Everyone's like, oh, there's only one soulmate, blah, 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 blah. You can have a soulmate as a best friend. Like, I definitely felt like someone that I was close to was definitely that energy. But I also feel that with my kids, not in that way, but like a connection. Like like I was their mother or we're family or some sort of connection in our past. You know what I mean? Because the way that we show up for each other, you know what I mean? It's like one's down. Thankfully, the two of, you know what I mean? But like when I was going through this, so was my son. So it's like it's like I gotta lift both of you up. I'm like, no, it's fine. I'm like, I just needed to cry. I just needed to feel the feelings and move on, move forward. So this is where during the purge, where someone has been removed from your life. This is where someone is coming in to take their place. I feel like, you know what I mean? And I've been feeling this for a while. I don't know if this will go to a lover point of view. Maybe you might be a little bit more than friends, but I don't think it'll be like anything commitment. It might be commitment. I feel like they want a commitment more than you do. Maybe this is not the time for that for you, but maybe there's a little, coochie coo. That's fine. As you're responsible adults, but it's just like with myself, it's like I can't have anything disturb our energy and our rhythm in our household. It's just, this is not the time for that. You know what I mean? Like my son said, 1919 on the timer. He wouldn't be able to sleep with a stranger in the house, and I would never want to put that on them. I feel like this might be someone from the past trying to come back with the Lover's card. I feel like with the Queen of Shears, which is the Queen of Swords, I feel like it's seeing the truth through this situation, because it's like, don't over romanticize it. Like, again, like Anastasia has taught us, lessons have been learned. So it didn't work that time. We know why. So why are we pretending like that situation didn't happen and trying again? You know, they're like, try again. Cat Williams, such an ass. But you know what I mean? It's just like, no. You know what I mean? It's put that energy into yourself. You don't need to be always looking to outside to external, what do you call that? Approval. You know, you got to believe in yourself, trust in yourself, pour into your own cup. The truth will come out in this situation. You know what I mean? I feel like they're just like, oh, you know, well, I guess things aren't turning out for me. This person was, you know, this. But it's like, that was then, this is now. You know what I mean? It's not, I'm not the same person I used to be. You're probably not the same person you used to be. And it's, you know what I mean? It's just, no. Let's not entertain stupid ideas. This looks like the number 90, or it could be 60. Maybe someone's turning 60. But it is supposed to be the infinity symbol. I feel like, again, bringing more balance in. I feel like if you've gone through what I went through, which I feel like a lot of people, have, I feel like a lot of us are not looking to add more disruption into our life. And it's not saying that a partner is disruption. It's just like, honestly, like, I'm working a minimum of 49 hours a week. You know what I mean? And it's just like, during the week, it is so busy. Yes, I have 2 days that are off, but it's like one day is just like running around doing errands. And the other day, it's just like, I just crash out. You know what I mean? It's just, life be lifing. You know what I mean? And I'm very thankful how full my life is. But I feel like a lot of us are just looking for that to shift out, because we were talking about storm warning. That is like clear. That is like 10%. Like just a little bit of left. You know what I mean? It's in the distance. So for outside, we're looking at a storm. It's already moved past us. You know, like I was hearing glass being like doing a cleanup or something like that, because it caused a lot of chaos. But that's why I was saying to, you know, and this is just myself, Yahweh Yeshua. I'm like, I am so thankful that this week is giving me a lot of peace. This is giving me time to recuperate. This is giving me time to rejuvenate. This is giving me what I needed, because I definitely needed that. You know what I mean? And I'm very thankful that that came in, because it's just like, it was chaos. Again, like unexpectedly, something came in, which was my nephew's birthday party. And I'm like, I rather, you know what I mean? That I don't mind being tired for, because it's just like, you know, me and him laugh and joke, and, you know what I mean? He's playing video games, and he's like showing me videos, like funny comedy videos. And you know, he starts bugging me, pinching me, and I'll pinch him back. He's just a sweet kid. I feel like it's just like anything in life that we go through ebbs and flows in life. Like if we could bottle up the moments that we feel like we won $1,000,000, it's like we would, you know what I mean, always be in that energy. So just remember to take care of you, take care of your loved ones. The ones that bring you love and light, those are the ones you really look out for. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that got your back. And you know what I mean? Just try to take it easy every single day. I know life can life a lot sometimes, especially when it's really busy and chaotic, but just push whatever is a priority to the top, and anything else is, if it gets done, it's a bonus. You know, we're in this, you know, mindset that everything has to be done by a certain time, and this, or we try to get it done during the week, so that way the weekend is, you know, as less as possible, because a lot of us do, you know, run errands and grocery shop and stuff like that on our first day off, and then, you know, the second one usually is passed out somewhere, right, to get ready for the next week. But you know, just do the best you can. That's all we can do sometimes, you know, and live for those moments, you know, where you're just like carefree and your brain just turned off and you're in the moment. You know what I mean? Cherish those moments. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick card pull. May the universe bless you good. Have a safe and happy weekend. We'll see you for the next quick card pull. Bye.